ski?
I ski.
Have you? I don't care. Have you been to Mammoth?
Where's that again?
Mammoth Lakes. It's like south of Tahoe.
No, I know Tahoe. No, I haven't. I went to Tahoe for the first time 2 weeks ago.
No, south of Tahoe, Mammoth Lakes. Like
No.
Okay.
I
Well,
need to ski in California. I was gonna buy ski boots and stuff.
oh, you don't have gear.
No, I ski like once in a while. I used to ski a lot when I was a kid. I need to
Dude,
get
that would actually be, oh, that'd be so sick if we met up in Mammoth. You should. Oh, we'll plan a trip for this winter, actually.
I mean, I'm super down. Let's go.
Like, what'd you say?
Company offsite?
Yes. I mean, it's pretty normal for like LA folks to make weekend trips up to Mammoth. And I typically get the like icon pass for Mammoth other resorts. Yeah.
That's above San Francisco though, right? That's a long drive.
It's east.
Oh, it's east.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean the geography's, let me see exactly. It is,
how many hours drive?
It's like a little southeast. For San Francisco, I don't know, like 4 to 5 probably. Sometimes there's some trouble like getting over everything. From LA, it's like 5 to 6 depending on traffic, but it's a pretty smooth drive. Like just a lot of straightaway on the 395. I think it's a little trickier for from the Bay, but
so okay, let's go. So one thing I want to talk about that I'm getting messages about is the sushi stuff.
Yeah, I saw Joe DeLong. He retweeted the original the I guess like the tweet calling him out, like the little thread that was like, oh, this guy's done all this shit. So for background, right? Sushi just introduced a new head chef that the community voted on, and a new thread came out about this new head chef. His name's something Gray, Owen Gray, something like that. And him doing a bunch of nefarious, shady shit in his past. And what's up? Good.
Like scamming, like a lot of scam stuff.
Yeah, like I saw a fake exchange and then taking 1 BTC for listings on this fake exchange and then never launching the exchange. There's like this whole thing about like this bullshit proof, this like bullshit protocol that he just like essentially like just took like all the liquidity in there and just bounced, and then now he tried to like change the name, and that's like his new project. Essentially just like a lot of weird shady things.
name of the project, do you know?
I can find it really quick.
All right, but that's the best part about the story, Ross, is that the price hadn't moved really with all these things. Then someone commented that this might not be appropriate for YouTube, but that he fingered a horse, and this is catching Twitter by storm. Sushi price is plummeting. There's a graph that says right when the guy commented that, the price of sushi just dumped.
The FUD, man. The FUD doesn't stop.
Is there any truth to this accusation, or is it just
I don't think fingering is true, but everything else seems pretty interesting.
These memes are incredible. I'm gonna send you guys this meme.
That's so funny.
It's like POV, you just interviewed for sushi and it didn't go the way you thought it would, and it's a picture of like BoJack Horseman looking at himself in the mirror.
So what's the
fingered the horse
outcome here? Are they, is he still going to become the new head chef, or are they having second thoughts?
He has not responded yet to the allegations.
Probably a little occupied.
Even Maki is going in, Joe is going in.
Dude, the Uniswap unicorn has been moved to a secure location.
Chef Maki tweeted, "If this isn't a parody, I'm done for today."
Oh my god, this is incredible. The memes are just keep going. I'm having a good time here.
All right, we can't be like bullying some guy though. We gotta stick to the
Agree.
legitimate accusations and
Look, this
talk
is
on
just
that.
another day on crypto Twitter. This is the kind of stuff that that we see popping up. But let's move on to the content newsletter.
You're right about
Hey,
this.
all that matters is the man in the glass.
Oh my god, you don't want to.
That's so funny.
All right, what do we? We're going over tomorrow's newsletter.
Let's do it. So goal of the first one, educate users on the scandal, and then talk about how it's important to, we'll go through it, right? So Celsius in the news again, and you better believe it's not good news. They've submitted a 14,000 page spreadsheet containing every customer name and transaction to court per the bankruptcy process. Anyone with basic Excel knowledge can look up every customer who's earned a yield on Celsius, see the nitty-gritty details of what they deposited, withdrew, and what coins they held. And the actual address of every business customer is available. At least they had the decency to remove personal addresses. Thank you, Machinsky.
Quick question. Can you see, so you can see where KYC people sent funds to on addresses, on
Right.
addresses.
Yeah, the site I showed you, Ross, it's in this, it doesn't show that, but you can see that. So that's the problem. It's like these guys that have millions of dollars, they're going to be such a target for criminal activity. The criminals can literally just go up and follow the trails, and it's really bad. It's the biggest breaches of privacy.
This is juice for Zach XBT. This is a ton of data for him.
Oh, ton for him.
I love it.
He's spending a lot of time going through these.
He already tweeted about Lark Davis, right?
Lark Davis, there's another influencer, Marin or whatever, that she kept saying that she wasn't sponsored by Celsius, and you could clearly see that Celsius was paying her $15K a month. I mean, it's just gonna open up an incredible hole here. It's ridiculous.
15K a month, Jesus.
Influencer's gonna be influenced.
I mean, when you have 100K plus, this is, it's some people have decency, others don't,
Some people have privacy, others don't.
So then I wanted to give everybody a background. So for context, Celsius was the CeFi golden child last year. They promised to unbank the population and offer an easy way to earn yield on your favorite crypto tokens. Of course, not being DeFi, you had to provide your personal information to access the platform. Then I kind of wanted to give a timeline. So let's recap the Celsius saga. ICO'd back in 2018, and at one point had over 12 billion in assets under management around May of 2022. Insane number. Paused all of its withdrawals in June, citing extreme market conditions. Enters bankrupt proceedings in July, and top execs, including the CEO, resign in September and pull out funds for personal use before. And I linked the article that you sent, Ross. That was good. Incredible.
Nuts.
And then decides to publish your name and all transactions to the public. We can word that better, but
it'd be nice to add on this in the first paragraph, not first, but the one at the top there where you said they promised to unbank the population. Below the bullet points, sorry. They promised to unbank the population and offer an easy way. We could say in reality they ended up rebanking everyone. I think it'd be cool, or cross out unbank and put rebank, something like that. Just put we add a little note to the,
or maybe that's the title. Maybe that's the title, is unbanked to rebanked.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I think we need to really come up. I mean, there's so many ways we can word this, and we got to make it funny, because this is
yeah, I want to add something in there.
So then I continued. There's already a leaderboard site that lets you the top losers and search for anybody. Here, I linked it. Our heart goes out to Jacob, who lost $40 million. Obviously, if you look into these are shell corporations. They're not actual people. But it's whatever. Maybe they are actual people, some of them. So what can we take away from the Celsius debacle? I'm not going to use the word saga again. So limit who you share your personal info with in crypto, and more importantly, don't connect it to your decentralized private wallets. For example, me and a few other people, when we use Celsius, I only connected it to my Coinbase wallet. Whatever, it's Coinbase, but I never touched any of the decentralized wallets I had. I shouldn't have been using Celsius anyway, but
you don't actually have a single Coinbase wallet, right? They they custody your assets and will just provide you an address, like
Exactly.
they switch them up. So yeah.
Exactly. So, and then if you're a whale on this list, take care to update your security measures. Anybody can access this list, looking at you criminals. And then, you know, end quote is C5 business model of earning yield is not the way. Understand how your crypto is earning yield and make sure it's transparent and on the blockchain and not hidden behind this C5 charade.
Charade. Charade?
Charade, but you know how some people say it with a different accent? It's charade.
Curtain?
Yeah, it doesn't matter, guys, but
Oh, it matters.
okay. All
So
right.
last word. I really like the section. This is good.
Yeah, I think, yeah. I can give this a trim. I just think it needs a little bit of a trim, but yeah, everything in there is perfect.
100% needs a trim, but yeah, the content I think is like, we're putting some good links. We need to come up with a funny title and just clean it up. Cool. Second section. So let's talk about so this is like something that I've like been very interested in. So let's talk about undercollateralized loans on DeFi with natural DeFi yield sinking. The risk-free rates around 0.75% when you look at safe yield from Compound, Aave, and Curve on USDC. Many investors are looking at alternative yield opportunities on chain. We've seen several of these projects advertise 8 to 15% stable yield opportunities by lending to institutional market makers, emerging markets, real estates, other real world assets.
Real world assets.
Yeah, other real world. Yeah. So this is my take. So we can maybe say Arthur's opinion. Like, I'm a big fan of these models, and it expands the pie into what DeFi can touch. We're slowly moving to on-chain yield to real world. Say it again. Let's just say the pie gets a lot bigger here, but with I kind of want to make like a diagram of like showing the AUM of DeFi, which is like in the hundreds of millions, and showing like I don't know, like real world asset shit, which is in the trillions, you know, like it really opens the pie to what you can invest in. But it also introduces many different risks.
DeFi is in the billions.
What?
DeFi is in the billions, not millions.
Yeah, sorry, billions. I mean, you're right.
Well, unless I'm missing.
What's up?
It'd be pretty bad if not.
Yeah, it would be pretty bad if not. Unlike over collateralized loans, where it's relatively safe to lend with, unlike over collateralized loans, where it's relatively safe to lend with under collateralized loans, you're at the mercy of whoever you're lending to. There have been many excellent improvements in this space. I want to talk about like Credora. It's an on-chain credit rating agency. These guys can monitor credit risk real time, but we're nowhere near perfect. Like the Wintermute example. So in real time, Credora changed their rating from an AA to an A when this hack happened.
Oh shit.
So it's pretty cool. Like this kind of tech is like still growing and it's very interesting. But like, listen, at the end of the day, like they're an on-chain credit agency. Like if you have a huge hack or something terrible happens, like you're kind of, you know, no on-chain rating agency is going to help you there. So then I kind of introduced a story, which is yesterday, a crypto investment firm, Blockwater Tech, defaulted on their loan by failing to pay 3.4 million. So what's next? Like now we move on to real life processes of like what would happen when a normal loan can't get repaid, AKA like court supervised administrative proceedings to help stakeholders like recoup the loss. So it's not like, you know, it's not like in DeFi where it just disappears and it's over. It's like now you go on to like court and see what happens there, how you can recoup and everything. So like my take, under collateralized lending is here to stay. As a potential investor, it's essential to understand the following, like who you're investing to. So like Clearpool, for example, like has a lot of different pools you can invest in. So like I know Wintermute very well. I trust it. It's huge. It's got a lot of credibility. So I'm more comfortable investing in Wintermute in their pool versus a XYZ Capital on Clearpool that I don't know much about. But they also operate differently. Like for Maple Finance, you're investing in a pool of these things. So if one guy fails, like it's more risky, but the risk is spread out. So like you have to understand, you know, all that stuff. And then also like, hey, if something does default, like what happens in the case of a default? to understand like how you can protect yourself. Yeah, so I thought this was interesting because it's taking just like a headline and talking about undercollateralized lending.
I love it. I think this is exactly what it should be, right? Which is like take some headline or like take a concept that we want to teach people about, throw a headline in there so it's like news and topical, and then just give our take on it, right? And I think that's like a good, simple formula. I love it. I love it.
I also like, I think this is so interesting. I'm going to like, I'll make sure to talk more about real world asset stuff in future DeFi. Like, it's just such an interesting topic. And I think this is what's going to get DeFi out there more, right? Putting things on, tokenizing things, putting things on chain. So we're already seeing.
Yeah.
Especially as being like way like a lot of early stage projects with Scribe reaching out for that type of support as well. It seems like there's a big influx, especially in real estate. Like, I don't know how new all of these are, but
yeah,
a lot happening. A lot that like DeFi doesn't, like degens don't even really know about at this point because it's a little bit separated. Yeah, I really like this one.
Also, it's also hard to do like 100, like, you know, like the 100Xs of the world. Like, it's just a different model.
Yeah,
and it's not decentralized, right? Because it involves real world assets, but like the process of administrating it could be decentralized. But at the end of the day, like, you know, if a property, like, you know, doesn't produce returns or forecloses or whatever, like there's real life stuff that needs to happen. And so like regulation kind of needs to catch up. It's like people are building from all sides, like actually investing in the technology, investing, like there's like Centrifuge, who's like helping like tokenize and securitize a lot of these real world assets on chain. But then there's also like a regulation piece. And then you go deeper into the types of real world assets that are out there. Refinancing, like it's very broad, but yeah, there's a lot to talk about here.
There's like like assets are like, you know, I think one thing that's not talked about enough is like the term real world assets is actually like so widely encompassing, right? So like, you're not even just talking about things like houses and like buildings and stuff like that, but also like the financial tools themselves, right? Like, you know, when you give somebody a loan, that's an asset, right? You give somebody, you know, I guess mostly I was thinking about just loans, but like, yeah, like those are other assets that you can tokenize, right? That's like the home coin strategy, right? Can we take on debt? Can we tokenize debt? You know, can we, I can't think of anything else off the top of my head, but things like that, right? Where it's like the assets themselves are not just buildings that people are going to like tokenize and bring on chain, but like there's like so many other types of assets.
Yeah, it's also different forms of debt, right? You've got this under collateralized debt. You've got so like with trucking, a lot of truckers use factoring companies to pay for stuff, and these factoring companies are like intermediary because it takes like 90 days and to get the money, and these truckers obviously like need the money now, and like putting that on chain, creating a market, like Flexport's already working on something like that. Like, it's insane how much stuff is going on with real world assets.
Interesting. Yeah, big market. Yeah, scaling Ethereum. Yeah, let me write this because I think it can do like a live from Polygon, Polygon Connect. These two things are happening. Well, just like, you know, the big thing is like the zkEVM is coming out. I guess goal would be like, you know, explain why the zkEVM is a big deal, right? Like this is a big deal because, you know, people have been saying for years that like ZK is the future. How, I guess, do we want to like explain why ZK is a big deal?
So that's my like, so I was talking to Ross about this earlier, and like this story has a lot of legs, right? Because on one story is like, what is Polygon up to, right? They're a side chain and they're buying an L2 infrastructure. Like what's their end plan here? And the second, as you just said, is like, we're introducing ZK proofs, and they're super revolutionary and innovative. And a lot of viewers have no clue what they are. So like, I think it's up to us to explain a little bit about it. But it's tough because it's such a big like subject, which is why this is a tough one to write. I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on where we should take this.
And I think like maybe we just do like table setting on ZK, just like basic, like, hey, zero knowledge, right? Where I can prove something to somebody, I can share a secret without somebody knowing like exactly what that secret is. They just know that it's true. And now when you take it onto blockchains, now you can get things like privacy on chain, where you can kind of start to select who gets access to what information. So, my friends can't see my wallet balances, but somebody that, I allowed to because I want to get a loan or something like that on chain, well, I can allow them or give them permission to see my wallet balances and things like that and share the private information. Talk a little bit about like being able to see wallet addresses or like wallet balances. It's like not like that's not a good thing to make like if crypto is going to be like the main source of finances, and like value transfer.
Cool to be like one of our very own, like wrote a very in-depth guide on zero knowledge proofs and then linked to your article. Like we want to wait for that.
It never got published.
But you could publish it. Or no?
I don't think it's like it would take some time to get it full publish ready.
Okay.
Probably couldn't publish it before tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say like what's the news? Why is it it's special because you're there and like you can build that up a little bit more.
Yeah, a couple good tweets, pull it out.
And then like why, like what's Polygon's angle, I think it would be a nice touch as well. Like here's the news, here's kind of what the like rundown on ZK Tech, and here's like Polygon like.
I was like live from Saturday. I was like, what? And then
Live.
it clicked.
You know what I mean? Like live from Saturday Night Live, but you're like, oh no, I'm in. Okay, it's not that funny.
Live from DEFCON.
Don't they say live from New York City? It's Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, I think that is what they say.
Right, they do say that.
Live from Saturday Night Live. This is New York City.
Yeah, I can knock this out real quick before I go to dinner.
Yeah, but I'm curious, like what is your take on like Polygon's plan, right? Like they acquired Hermes is how you pronounce it, right? Like last year or whatever. And now they're spinning this up on testnet. Like it's separate from Polygon. Like what's the
that the specifics behind it are still a little like, I don't know exactly. Like is it going to be, is there going to be like the proof of stake chain, and then there's also going to be like the zkEVM chain, right? Or like is it just, are they going to combine them and basically like kill the proof of stake chain and then go off into the zkEVM? I don't know exactly how they're going to do that. But I think we don't have to hit that exactly. I think it's just like, hey, like Polygon since the start has positioned themselves as like, we're here to scale Ethereum. Like they've always been OG Ethereum guys. From the start, even as a side chain is not an L2, not an L1, but like the idea was always let's scale Ethereum. And like, this is like the next big step in scaling Ethereum, right? Zero knowledge.
Yeah, it's like the most promising and significant step as well. Like the sidechain thesis is a little bit less, especially for like the heavy dev guys, like people who understand the tech, not as like glamorous as what's possible.
We want to talk about like side chains, because that's also like a topic that we should probably, like people are gonna be like, what are side chains? Like not everybody, but like
I don't think we even need to get into that. Like that's too nuanced, too complicated. I think it's that's an article itself, like the difference between side chains and L2s and subnets and supernets. Now apparently that's the new Polygon thing. They're gonna do supernets. That's all. Let's just like, hey, like they just announced this. This is why it's a big deal mainly. Like
maybe we end it with some questions, like what's some pointed questions, like what's Polygon's plan with this? We're excited to find out kind of like how are they going to merge existing chain with the zkEVM. Like we don't really know for sure yet, but whatever.
Questions like we're supposed to have the answers. It's like I was like, oh, like these guys are asking me questions. Like, was this homework? Like,
I mean, it's rhetorical. It's like they haven't announced it yet. Like, we're not really sure. I mean,
hey, can we move these to the like our scribe?
I will. I'm going to. Sorry, I'll do that today.
But I want to give the sense that we're thinking about what the implications of this rather than just announcing it. So however you want to do that, I guess.
Yeah, remember what we said, like, we don't want to end it with asking questions. We want to end it with like our take.
Yeah, I get a good structure. Yeah, I'll write this, and then, I guess Ross, you want to go through and do the edits?
Yeah, of course.
And then we'll just,
Let's plan to like finalize it tonight, because
so we
and
don't
then
have
I'll build it tonight, because like we have so many meetings tomorrow that like we should just send this out.
I agree. All right, is that a wrap?
is that a wrap? You did a little.